Hi, my angels. Today's message is from Yeshua. Many say Jesus. Dearest sons and daughters of the divine, it is I, Yeshua. My beloved, I come to you now with a heartfelt message of truth and clarity. Understand that the awakening of humanity's collective spirit is not only inevitable, it is happening now regardless of how you may perceive world events. Even as you look upon the discord and strife that seem contrary to the pure reality of love, know that all is ultimately unfolding in alignment with the Father's divine plan. My dear brothers and sisters, understand that true religion was meant to guide you back into oneness with your source, calling you home to the Father's house where you might freely receive all the Father longs to give. In that state of grace, your soul faculties rise again in alignment with divine consciousness, banishing fear and struggle. Where grace prevails, there is no anxiety over survival or supply, for the Father naturally bestows every good thing upon you, fulfilling the promise that all is added on to you. Prayer, in its highest form, is not petition, but a humble retreat into silence, into His presence, where in an instant harmony may be realized. It is the same realization shared by those who attain oneness with the Creator long before you. There is only one power ever present, omniscient and omnipotent, yet your world abides in duality because you have not learned to live in grace. Once again, I use the wordology of Father when describing the infinite God. I do this not because Creator is male or female. It is both. I use this word again as I know that many in your religions will hear this message, and so I must find common term to reach as many as I can. Please understand this. So look around you and see the irony. The human population has never been larger, and countless millions actively adhere to one of the major religions, with your Christianity the largest, possessing over 30,000 variations alone. These variations are branches grown from the same root, supposedly worshiping me, Jesus the Christ. Yet none agree among themselves, and each lack the authentic God experience needed to teach true union with the Father. The fruits of their efforts speak for themselves: deeper division, more homelessness, and greater struggle across the earth. If any among these had truly returned to the Father's house and attained full God realization, there would be no argument, only the radiant example of one living by grace and showing others to live likewise. Instead, all religions continue to fail the purpose for which they first sprung into being. Yet seeds of something greater persist within them. My fellow guides, Buddha, Krishna, and Lao Tzu, and I look upon your many creeds and see you going in circles, unaware that your religions have lost their way and require living exemplars of true oneness. Therefore, for the sake of your entire world, seek the fulfillment of divine truth within yourselves. Let it flower so brightly that the others can no longer question that this is the way, the truth, and the life. My beloved, consider how hundreds of millions of prayers are uttered every minute in hopes of ending suffering, disease, conflict, countless entities rising to heaven in every faith tradition. Never in your record of history have so many prayers been sent forth, and yet your global crisis only escalates. This undeniable fact should prompt you to ask, does the Father simply not care? Or are these prayers made in error? Are we praying to the God that has been made of human minds and simply does not exist? Since you know of God's boundless love, it becomes more that humanity is praying amiss. This is not to say that religions are useless. Oh no. Moreover, that we see that they have simply failed their care purpose and fail completely. There is still good loving things that come from your religions. So I and we are not suggesting that you simply abandon them overnight. But it is now time to evolve, and this must be done by those of you listening to this message. You need to become the living examples of how to live by grace in union with God without limitations. Reflect on what you claim to believe, that the Father is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent, the very essence of all that exists. Yet if this truly stands as your conviction, is it not contradictory to beg such a presence for something it already sustains? By petitioning the Father for gifts or interventions, you undermine at least one of these divine attributes. Your goal then is to step away from pleading with the infinite and instead follow my genuine teaching and these of any authentic master mystic, saint, or sage who has walked your earth with the light of true God realization. Seek them diligently with discernment and examine the fruits of their examples. Ask yourself, do they clearly live in grace and demonstrate unwavering harmony? Many deceivers live among you, so be wary. But when you meet a soul who embodies the Father's presence, you will sense their abiding peace. Therein lies your path to the fullness of divine life. Great seekers, understand that spiritual discernment reveals the Father's infinite presence in every individual, for each one carries the fullness of divine grace and spirit. At first glance, the physical senses may argue otherwise. The eyes see limitations. The ears pick up discord. The material world insists on separation. But the deeper truth resides within. Beyond appearances, it is there in the silence of your soul that you behold each person as a living vessel of God's allness, radiant with the presence and power of the Father. If you sincerely wish to serve the world, do not direct your prayers to achieving victory over adversaries or imposing one ideology above another. Rather, pray in spirit and truth, which means looking through outward forms with spiritual vision and perceiving the Father's governance already at work and around all beings. Discerning God's authority in every life, the divine rule of wisdom, harmony, and love transforms your prayer from a plea into a recognition of eternal reality. And once recognized, this reality of grace can flow freely, bringing its blessing to the earth. This being said, we in the higher realms do indeed see great progress among you. Though your news and medias may deny it, signs of transformation abound. The illusions of separation from our source, Mother, Father, Creator is fading swiftly. The Father's plan for your awakening proceeds in perfect harmony, just as it must, because it's love alone that upholds all creation. Many of you harbor doubts, perhaps cling to old notions of guilt or fear. Trust in the Father's living presence deep within your hearts. Her only will is that the love you already are shines forth in your conscious awareness, dissolving any lingering shadows. You are the beloved children of the infinite source, embodied by an endless eternal love from which you can never be parted. Creation itself is an unceasing dance of joy. Every living being is endowed with vitality for the pure delight of the Father who beholds you, and all creatures with boundless affection. Indeed, you were created to experience the fullness of life as a sacred blessing, and though fear or confusion can cloud your perception, you retain at every moment the power to choose love in place of fear. Know too that the human personality came into existence with a built-in drive for self-will and self-gratification. But this is not sin. It is simply an integral part of your creative process, intended to be guided by divine understanding. The trouble emerges when you allow the ego to rule, unchecked, attracting its own form of punishment, not form of high, but from your own misdirected consciousness. For preciously this season, outdated doctrines that place blame on my crucifixion or suggest eternal retribution must be allowed to pass away, just as any scientific text becomes obsolete when new knowledge is found. Yes, all religions rooted in old dogmas and traditions have proven themselves unable to transform the mental patterns that now threaten the world. We see global crisis, terror, and the erosion of compassionate laws. In truth, no religion that is shackled to fear-based beliefs or ritualized forms can integrate lasting peace and prosperity for humanity. A true spiritual leader would teach that every calamity, be it illness, natural disaster, war, or oppression, first comes into being within the realm of human thought. This is why I wept in Palestine, warning that destructive consciousness breeds destructive outcomes. But the religion's order, bound by rigid dogmas, have not guided seekers toward the evolving truth of existence. As a result, their churches and temples stand increasingly empty. Beloved, it is time to look with open hearts for higher enlightenment. Pray for genuine revolution and do not cling to old, worn-out beliefs. Practice and teach brotherly love each moment of your daily lives. With all your heart and soul, reach for a vision higher than the illusions served up by media and traditions. Understand that only the reality of love can heal your world and uplift humanity onto the next level of its spiritual evolution. Likewise, be aware that the outward symbols rituals, and doctrines of older religious institutions were largely shaped by ancient cultures, Egypt, Babylon, Rome, and beyond, only to bind people in mental slavery to unreachable gods. Humanity was steered away from personal responsibility and coaxed to bow before commandments, which became unnecessary when your heart is fully aligned with love. In truth, every newborn soul already knows not to steal or kill. Distorted formulations of commandments can reinforce the very darkness they attempt to prohibit. I tell you, a free and awakened being has no need of enslaving rules. For true freedom arises from recognizing your oneness with the Father's love. Therefore, you automatically act in harmony with all that is. Reflect on this deeply, and you will see how the illusions of subservience keep you asleep, preventing you from claiming your divine heritage. When you examine so-called book of books, remember not every word was meant to be taken literally, out of its historical context. The early communities persecuted by Roman authorities had caused to urge obedience to temporal laws for survival. Yet in your modern era, unthinking submissions to worldly powers, especially unjust ones, is neither a spiritual duty nor a path to enlightenment. In certain circumstances, it may be prudent, but never let passively blind you to the higher law of love and truth. Lastly, the concept of fully accepting everything must be understood rightly. True acceptance means looking inward to embrace every aspect of yourself, whether radiant or shadowed, and transforming your consciousness with unconditional love. It does not mean turning a blind eye to injustice or mingling what is pure with what is harmful. You must awaken to your immortal spirit, reject manipulative beliefs, and reclaim the divine power that dwells within you. My dear ones, I speak these words to you now so that you may see the futility of corrupt religion systems and outmoded teachings that obscure Creator's everlasting truth. As you surrender your ego-driven fears and abide in unconditional love, you will realize the peace, joy, and abundance that has always been your inheritance. Stand free, awake, and rejoice, for the Father holds you internally in unfolding love. My brave souls of earth, I am closer than I ever have been to earth and its souls at this time. And I have enjoyed being with you today. I am the one you know as Yeshua. And that's the message. Sending you all so much love and light and darkness, my angels. Until the next message, talk soon.